Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to address a certain issue that I'm sure a lot of people that own S2000s know about. So this issue is related to the fender kind of design and the front tires if you have an aggressive tire setup like me. These are 255 RE71Rs up front, and you guys know the factory fenders get chipped up all to hell from the rocks being thrown from the front tire, especially during a track day or an autocross when the tires get hot and sticky, or even if you're just driving around town, you hear rocks getting thrown at the underneath of the car. The biggest problem is along this edge here. It gets pretty much sandblasted by that front tire. I just finished doing touch-up paint on mine, but there were many rock chips. There was almost no paint on the edge of this fender all the way down from the 6 weeks of track events I've done and autocross. And of course you get lots of chips underneath this cavity here, this body line that flows with the door. You get tons of chips under there because it kind of sticks out like a ledge. The rear of the car is not as much of an issue. The body line kind of angles back towards the center point of the car, so you don't really get too many chips on the rear of the car or the rear bumper in this section as a result of that design, but you still get chips along the inner edge in here. I know you can't see that much, but that is pretty blasted on the inside there. That edge is pretty rough from all the rock chips. Again, this is a 255 in the rear too. The tires all the way around are 17x9 plus 60. So basically Honda never offered a kind of a splash guard option for the S2000. So as you can see on my 8th gen, I have these both on my SI and my R18. They came with these nice little plastic splash guards. I think they look really good on the car, and they stick out further from the fender and collect all the rocks and stuff from being thrown at the paint. And they have saved the underneath of the car. That doesn't have any rock chips on it because of these splash guards. But for the S2000, you really only have 3 options to take care of this issue. You can either make your own guards yourself. You can go to carbonguards.com and buy their carbon fiber ones for $125 plus shipping, or you can go ahead and purchase these from a guy that makes them on his own. He does his own handcrafted kind of DIY chip guards. Now these are a fraction of the price of the carbon guards, the carbon fiber ones, and carbon fiber guards just that will get beat to hell from rocks seem a little pointless to me, and I wouldn't want to spend that much money on something that's just going to be getting slammed by rocks all day. So this seemed like the great option to me. It's, like I said, it's a fraction of the price of the carbon fiber ones, and this guy who sells them, his name's Elliot. And I'll leave his contact information in the video description if you're interested in purchasing a set of these. But I'm very excited about this. I think they're going to look pretty good on the car, and they're going to save the fenders pretty dramatically here. So they're like a rubberish kind of vinyl material he uses, and he does these inserts, these brass inserts that you use the factory screws to mount through. Now these 2 larger ones here are for the front fenders, so they come with 2 mounting holes because there's 2 screws in your factory fender that utilize those mounting points, and there's no sticky tape on these. But the rear ones, you only have 1 mounting hole, so it uses a mounting hole and then double-sided sticky tape to hold the rest of it on. So the rear ones are a little smaller. Front ones are definitely larger because you want to save the front fenders more than the rear. The front is where the main issue is. I think the rear is just on there more for looks to make the car look balanced, but let's go ahead and get these installed. Alright, so here we are, guys, about to do the driver's side front. These are the guards for the front. I went a little further and added a piece of 3M double-sided tape. This is like the stuff you get from Advanced Auto Parts. It's like a 1/2 inch wide, I believe. So I added a strip of that just for extra assurance and to keep it molded to the fender as well. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the backing on the double-sided tape that I put on. So there we go. We got the backing taken off. You got your 2 screws that come out of your factory locations in the front fenders. What I did was I wiped the surface down with alcohol first to make sure there's no dirt on it for when I apply the tape. And I'm going to go ahead and probably, since this stuff's so flexible, you can kind of flex the bottom in, and I'll get a screw started in the bottom location and line up the top the best you can. Go ahead and get one started on the top. Then you're going to want to go ahead and grab a stubby screwdriver, start threading them in. You don't want to tighten these too tight because you don't want to strip out the factory threaded insert for these screws. So just hand tight, nice and snug is all you want to do. And then I'm going to push down on the double-sided tape. And there. That's all there is to it. Now your factory fenders may not be perfectly smooth. Mine's got a little bubble in it here from the factory plastic warping a little bit. So this material is great because it kind of flexes with it if you use the double-sided tape. I imagine the carbon fiber would be more rigid and it'd want to try to straighten this out more and it might peel the tape off. But this seems like it'll hold up on there very good. So don't mind the rusty brake rotors. I just got done washing the car, but here's a first look at the fender guards, the chip guards on the edge there. So yeah, I'll back the car out of the driveway here soon and get a better picture and a video in the light to show you how it looks, and even with the wheels pointed straight. But I think that's going to correct a lot of the chipping issue you see on the front fenders in these cars. I think it looks pretty good, can't beat the price, and it's going to add a little nice touch to the car. I always think little accents like this look good on these cars, and most cars in general. I mean, these aren't like obnoxious Subaru Rally Armor mud flaps. They're just a little edge sticking out to prevent rocks from destroying the side of the fender, and I think it looks pretty good. Alright, so here's a quick view of it with the tire pointed straight. As you can see, the tire definitely sticks out further than it still, but it's going to protect the fender a lot. And that eliminates the concern about kind of wind catching it and folding it over. Alright, so this here is the rear guard. It's a lot smaller in the front, only one mounting hole, because you have only one mounting hole on the bumper in the rear. So they're kind of angled to contour with the bumper. I added a couple extra pieces of double-sided tape. As you can see, I added the gray ones. He supplies the black ones. Probably not, the gray ones probably aren't needed, but you know, I kind of just did it for extra peace of mind. So basically I'm gonna just take the top screw, mount it, and then slowly, you know, work the rest of it down. I'm not gonna go full tight yet with the other parts. Just push down on the double-sided sticky tape, and then you can go full tight on the screw. I'm not gonna go really tight, I'm just gonna snug it up a little bit. There you go. That is the rear guard installed, as you can see, and matches the contour of the bumper all the way down. And from the back side, it sits flush with the bottom of the bumper. It doesn't hang down, doesn't look cheap at all, and then comes up nicely, contours inward. All right, so here's the car all finished. I'll do a quick walk around to show you the chip guards. Again, don't mind the rusty brake rotors, they look terrible. The tires in the front and rear still stick out further than them, but I think it looks pretty damn awesome. The way these are cut, they actually match the camber I have in the rear. As you can see right here, they're pretty much at the same angle the tires are, so they look pretty damn awesome. And you look at the front. Very clean look to it. Here's an up-close look at the front again. And as you can see from the front of the car, you can't even tell the car has them on because the tires stick out further than the chip guards. As you come around the side, you can see them poking out a little bit there. And back in the rear, you can't quite see that one yet, but not too worried about the rear. That one's going to do the majority of the work, saving the fender. So in summary, I'd say this is probably the cheapest and most effective mod you can do to your car to protect it and actually enhance the looks a little bit. I really like the look of it. I don't think it looks cheap at all. I think they look pretty, they got a pretty high quality piece on there. Definitely like the way it came out. So definitely look at the video description, contact him if you want to get a set for your car. Definitely like them on mine. And there's another look of the rear and then the front.